So, Justin, aka Glenn Close, your chickens have finally come home to roost. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is the Haves and the Have-Nots Season 7, Episode 6. And the name of this episode is From the 70s. Woo, this was a really interesting episode, I must say. The episode picks up where it left off. Hannah overhears Mitch and Benny's conversation, and Mitch confesses to Benny that it was Jim Cryer who put out a hit for you to get stabbed. And Hannah immediately hits the roof, as any mother would when someone assaults her son. But Hannah, I gotta be real with you. Your son ain't shit. Your son is making a lot of moves that is pissing people off. Not only the Cryers, but also the mob, aka the Malones. Because, think about it. This fool is literally holding $8 million. He's literally holding it as a ransom. And he can't even get access to it unless you sign off on it. So the fact that, just based on that alone, he's not only putting him in danger, he's also putting you in danger as well with that decision. Because in anybody's situation, I mean, even though, yeah, I'm not taking up for Jim because Jim's an evil bastard, but you holding somebody's money, you think they're not going to retaliate? You think they just going to let you take their shit? That's what I'm saying. Like, Hannah, your boy ain't shit. Like, yeah, it's messed up that happened to Benny, but Benny is bringing these things on himself because he's making stupid ass decisions. He got a hot dick and a dumbass brain to match it. So, yeah, but Hannah's hot. You know, as I said, you know, you don't mess with a black mother's child. And now that she knows that Jim did this, oh, we about to get another side of Hannah, you know, henceforth. So we just got to keep watching. So then we get a scene where David is on the phone and he is giving intel to these hitmen about Justin Lewis, aka Glenn Close, Mr. Fatal Attraction. So he pretty much says, I want you guys to send him a clear message that, yeah, nobody messes with my son. So then we see downstairs Madison and Jeffrey run into each other, and Madison tells Jeffrey, your dad wants to see you. And then immediately Jeffrey, and this is exactly why Jeffrey is now on my shit list, because Jeffrey is just really showing how much of a psychopathic piece of trash he really is. Because not only are you playing games with this boy, but now, you know, Madison, you kind of like led Madison on, and now you want to attack him. And I knew this was going to happen because as soon as he found out that Madison told David about this, he was going to be pissed. And all of a sudden we see that Jeffrey walks up on the Madison. It's like, did you tell him? And he was like, well, yeah, your dad can help you. And he was like, you sure you didn't do this because he can help you so you can be with me and you want him out the way? I'm like, oh, Jeffrey really is conceited as shit. I'm like, really, dude? This dude has not only put his hands on you, he has harassed you, violated you, vandalized your dad's condo. Like, are you serious? And yet you still want to keep him around. That's why I said Jeffrey full of shit. And Madison is now starting to see it, but I'm like, Madison, leave Jeffrey alone. Just go there, do your job, and don't even talk to the bitch because she ain't even worth talking to. So, but Madison is like, look, your dad's a good man. He can help you. And he was like, you don't know my dad. My dad's ruthless. And he's like, we ain't through talking about this. So Jeffrey goes upstairs to talk to his father, and he tries that semantic bullshit. Oh, he's harmless and all of that, you know. And, you know, and of course, David's on some serious shit. Did something happen last night? you know, are you trying to cover this up? Like, yeah, you know, about the whole laser thing. He's saying, but it was just a laser. He was, you know, it wasn't nothing serious. And he was like, he was sending you a message, Jeffrey. That's why he did that. He's like, yeah, but, and he's like, and I won't tolerate it. He's like, there's cameras all around this house. You think I can't find out what's going on my property? But he's like, oh, but he's harmless and all that. See, that's your damn delusion. You are such an egotistical asshole that you really think you got this in control. You don't. You don't at all. And it seemed like the only person that's sane, well, I have to kind of say partially sane because he wants Jeffrey ass, is Madison. He's the only one that's kind of seeing what this is. But one thing that you don't understand is that Jeffrey is psychotic just as well. He's enjoying all of this. He knows by him doing the things he's doing, he's getting Justin angry, and he's getting off on it because it boosts his ego. Because his ego really came out in this episode to the point I wanted to punch the shit out of him. So pretty much he told him that I will handle it. And then Jeffrey's like, what do you mean? He says, I said I'll handle it. You know, and that he's going to realize there's a cost for messing with my son. Now I need to be alone. He's like, but Dad, like, I need to be alone now. Get the hell out. So then this bitch goes downstairs to Madison. She is mad as hell, and she's like, you really don't know what you did, and you really don't know me. So that's strike one, and you got 2 more left. I'm like, oh, you got some fucking nerve, you asshole. This man got violated by him too. Like, this man vandalized his car, hit him up the head. Who the hell wanna fucking deal with that shit? And just be like, oh, it's okay. Like, no. Like, Madison, get the hell away from Jeffrey, because Jeffrey ain't shit. Jeffrey ain't shit. Justin ain't shit. Both of them deserve each other. And the more you get that, you need to protect yourself and not be worrying about Jeffrey's ass, because Jeffrey likes the bullshit. So then at the Artesian, we get a scene with Rocky and RK. He's talking about Veronica and that she's a crazy bitch and she threw some hot grits. She's about to throw some hot grits on him. And he notices that Justin's stinking ass is sitting there. And he tried to put Rocco on him, but Rocco's like, oh no, it's on you, bruh. And besides, you late any damn way. You need to make some money. Get your ass out there. So we see that Justin is still playing this, you know, this like creep, rapist type of thing that he does with men. So what happens is that RK meets up with Justin. He goes to the table and he was like, so he's like, can I help you, sir? And he's like, yeah, I want a drink and I need a room and you can bring it to me. And then he was like, you can actually get the room and room service can bring it up to you. And he was like, no, I want you to bring it up to me. And he's like, why would I do that? He's like, because I said so. I mean, do you want people in here to know who you are? And he was like, go ahead. He's like, first of all, what you're gonna do is get me a room and give me the room number and meet me there. And he told him to go to hell. You know, and he's like, you will not do this shit to me again. And I was like, damn. We were saying way back when he went off with Justin and then all of a sudden he got out. Oh yeah, Justin had his way with him. Yeah, but RK's not gay, so in a way, it was rape. You know, and he was like, but hey, you can't get mad. I got off and you got out. I'm like, oh, Justin is a piece of shit. This is what Jeffrey's in love with. This is what Jeffrey's in love with. Just, I want y'all to get that shit. This shit is what Jeffrey loves. And as I said, Jeffrey is officially on my shit list. And he pretty much, you know, tells him to fuck off and get the hell out. And he was like, okay, fine. But I'm going to talk to your boss about you because he obviously doesn't know that, you know, about who you really are and all this shit. So we see that Broderick goes up to So we see that Justin goes over to Broderick. He starts telling all of his shit, you know, about how he got a long rap sheet and all that. And he's saying you should be careful of who you hire. I'm like, oh, you messy bitch. You messy piece of shit. Like, really? Like, you gonna try to get the man fired because he don't wanna play your little sexual game? Then we see that Broderick tells RK, let me talk to you for a second. So they go in the back, and you know, he tells Broderick that, look, this is the guy that filled me up and all that. Now he wants a room. And he's saying, so what's the problem? So we already see right here, the prostitution ring is still going on. Broderick has not shut it down, but has told Catherine that he has. Yeah. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen when she finds out that Broderick been lying. Yeah, because Broderick is still playing a dangerous game, because Broderick obviously likes playing Russian roulette with himself, and in his mind, he ain't got nothing to lose. It's all or nothing. So he's still trying to play Catherine, and he's thinking he's ahead of her right now. But yeah, we know how Catherine Cryer get down, so we might be surprised. So we see that Broderick and RK are going back and forth, and he's pretty much saying that, you know, we already got, you know, the FBI and all this going through this place. Like, there's a lot of heat, and we do not need any more drama, so you need to make this happen. He said get rid of him, and he told him, like, no, you go make nice. He says, okay, well, act like you fired me in front of him. He's like, okay, fine, but if I do that, you are fired. He's like, come on, man, you know I need this job. And he says, well, fine, go make nice. So he goes back over there, and he was like, you know, and then, like, we see that Justin is really feeling himself because he think he got one up on RK. He was like, so I see that if you just went up with me, things would have been okay, but now you see how rough it is when you don't give me what I want. Just basking in his ego. And then all of a sudden Veronica shows up. And then, so all of a sudden she's like, so what this girl talking about, huh? And she's like, Mr. Officer. And then she says, RK, get me some coffee. And then he pretty much brings the coffee and brings the coffee urn and sits it there. And she's like, oh, you not gonna pour it? He was like, hell nah. She's like, oh, come on. I spilt a little coffee on your little arm and now you want to act like a little bitch? I'm like, Veronica needs to stop. Oh my God. Yeah. You acting like a little bitch, just like the little bitch that's sitting right in front of me. And then he was saying that, yeah. And then, like, all of a sudden, you know, he starts trying to give ego to Veronica. Like, yeah, I heard that the FBI's investigating you. You know, he's like, yeah, they trying to come for me, but I got that handled. But she's like, oh yeah, but I did see your wife though. You know, she was sad, holding her head down, and I told her, no need to hold down your head because you're not the first to get screwed by a homosexual, and you won't be the last. You know, it's just so sad, you know. And then he was saying, and then he tells her, look, my ass got suspended, so I don't have nothing to lose. There you go right there. That's the kind of person he is. Since he has nothing to lose, he will kill, he will rob and steal and do what he got to do to get what he wants. But then she says, oh, but I also heard that they're pressing charges that, you know, about you sexually assaulting Wyatt. And then all of a sudden, ding, 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 something went off in RK. Was like, oh, is that right? He's like, she's like, you know something, RK? You like to share with the rest of the class? And he was like, yeah, he found on me in his car. He was like, oh. So I'm wondering, that's how you got Jeffrey, because Jeffrey had went to jail. So this must be your little MO. So we just need to get some evidence lined up to actually say that, hey, this is actually serial sexually assaulting, you know, suspects. So she's like, yeah, this is really good. This is real good. RK, are you down to testify? And he was like, yes. So he's like, yeah, that's, and then all of a sudden we see that damn Justin face was cracked. I'm like, she got your damn number, Justin, because you have been sexually assaulting all these men and been getting away with it because you a white man with a badge. but you got this black woman who is crooked, who's a snake, and as evil as she wanna be, and she can completely pull the rug right from under you. So he was so damn mad. He got that mean grin on his face. He got up and left, and she was like, "Walk, Miss Honey. Walk, bitch. Walk, bitch. Walk." I'm like, "No, you not, bitch." Oh my God. She is just so homophobic and disrespectful. It's ridiculous. Then she's like, and then she asked RK, "Are you sure that you telling me the truth that this happened to you?" He was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Okay, one down, one to go." And then RK was like, "Well, I'm gonna get the hell away out of here because I can't deal with your ass." But then she's like, "Look, I apologize." And she was like, and he was like, "But you was about to throw hot grits on me." And she's like, "Yeah, something from the 70s. Love and happiness. Al Green." So I was like, wow, so that makes sense. She's like, "Child, that's just something from the 70s. It's okay." But she says, "Hey, I get like that sometimes." He's like, "Yeah, especially when you drinking. Because when you drink, you become a totally different person." She's like, "I'm Veronica Harrington." Among several others. I was like, "Oh, crazy bitch." And he's like, "You know what? I know you want this meat. Won't you stop playing?" And then she points to them like, "You see those two people right there? They're undercover officers. You stole my jewelry, and you think I was gonna let your hood ass run through my house and I wouldn't catch you on camera? Like, bruh, the cameras don't lie. So this is what you gonna do. Where's my jewelry at?" He says, "I pawned them." He's like, "Well, you better get your ass out of here. Go to that pawn shop and get my things." He's like, "But I'm at work." She says, I don't give a damn. Take your ass to the pawn shop and get my things, or these two undercover officers are gonna take your ass in." So then we see him trying to run up to Broderick. By this time, him and Catherine are talking. So everybody's at the damn Artesian today. He tries to talk to Broderick. Broderick blows him off. And, we see that Catherine and Broderick go back and forth. She's saying that, is this situation shut down? And, have you checked the rooms and all of that? Because Catherine right now is dick hungry like crazy. Like, she wants some more of that Mexican meat. And then she asks, "Oh, where's the other guy, Rocky? Yeah, you need to bring him too." I'm like, she trying to get another threesome in it. I'm like, Catherine is just sex crazed at this point. So then, oh yeah, so I already talked about that. So then, after that whole situation with RK, she notices that Veronica is sitting there. And this whole scene was giving me life because these two fucking women are so sinister and so cutthroat that they literally are being very shady, but using kindly gestures and using flattery. "Hello, how are you? You look great. So do you. How's Jeffrey? How's Wyatt?" Like, that whole situation going back and forth, And she's like, "So why are you here, Veronica?" She's like, "I'm here having coffee." "Why are you here, Kevin?" She's like, "I own the place. So I don't have a reason. So I don't need a reason to be here." But then she's like, "Oh, no, honey. I know why you're here. You're here for that man over there. Because what I saw was not boss and employee. That's a cougar trying to take down a kid." I was like, bitch. Ooh, she's like, "Body language, honey. Yeah, you even walk different." I'm like, yeah, Veronica is a whore, so she would know a whore when she see one. She know that damn, Catherine is getting her life. And then she says that, "Oh yeah, and I also heard, Veronica, that the FBI is looking into you about what happened to David. Yeah, and he's like, I hope they get their man." And she's like, "Well, how you know it's not a woman? A diva with an axe to grind." And then all of a sudden Catherine's like, "A diva with an axe." Yeah, and then Veronica was like, "Yeah, just like a diva with a gun," talking about her shooting up Jennifer Salison up in her living room. So, and then she's like, well, hey, but I'm a white woman who's wealthy with no debt. And I'm like, yeah, because she read Veronica that Veronica is she's in an insane amount of debt and she's living off of credit. So, but then she says that, but I have nothing to worry about because I have a team of lawyers that are going to make sure that everything that I know and all of my secrets are locked tight, and that's exactly what David and Jim are going to go after, is to find out who these lawyers are so they can shut that down and then they can slay the dragon. And then all of a sudden, we see that Catherine again meets up with Broderick, and he brings Rocky because she had said that Rocky just left. She says, "Oh, he just left? Then I think you can stop him from leaving," because she's trying to get another threesome in. So they pretty much get together, and they about to walk, and then all of a sudden we see Secret Service stop them. "Excuse me, you cannot move. Stay put." She's like, "Who the hell are you? I own this place. What the hell is going on?" She's like, "The president-elect is here." So of course it's Charles. And she's like, "Why the hell nobody told me that he was staying here?" And she's like, and Broderick was like, "Well, he's been here for a while, and he actually likes his hotel." And she's like, "Yeah, and I got a problem with that." And they was like, "Well, why?" She's like, "Because I didn't vote for the bastard. I voted for her." So the Republican candidate was a woman. And we see that Catherine is Republican, and she was kind of giving that "Make America Great Again" in that moment. I was like, oh, damn. That shit was crazy. So then we see that Charles and Landon have a moment, and he pretty much says, "How's your jaw?" And he's like, "Not that bad." And then he's like, nothing that a little makeup can cover. And he was like, "Oh, makeup. Maybe it's Maybelline." I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden he was like, my wife, never used to believe when I was sorry, and I will always have to prove her wrong, but I'm letting you know here, I'm sorry." And he was like, okay. And then he was like, "So you're gay, why didn't you tell me that?" And he was like, "Well, I didn't think it was that important when it came down to my job." "Yeah, true, but then again, the moves you pulled, yeah. That was not in your job description, bitch. Just saying, Landon's a little hot pocket. Yeah, she's a whore." And then he was like, "Are you attracted to me?" And he's like, "Be honest." And he was like, "Yes, you're attractive and you're sexy." And he's like, "Yeah, but I appreciate your honesty, but you know that that's not gonna work with us, right? You know that I'm not gay. And I don't want this to be a problem because I love how the way you work, and you're going to be working close to me. So is this going to be an issue?" Probably so. And the way things are looking, this shit ain't over. So, but then he's saying that, "Look, I respect you as a man, and I'm going to need for you to do the same." And I'm like, yeah, unless that man invites you to it, stay on your ground. Don't be trying to pull that "I'm going to get you drunk and then I'm going to see if you can put it in me right quick now that you intoxicated." That type of shit. And then he says, "So sure." And then he's like, "Okay, I'm done for now." And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, can I speak freely?" He was like, "You think you can speak freely after what the hell you just did?" I'm like, "Really, dude? I thought you was over it and you was sorry, and yet you still bringing it back up." Charles is a messy motherfucker. He was pretty much saying that, "I noticed something." This is Landon talking, that "I noticed something. You like her because you're better when she's around, and when she's not around, you're just so mean." He's like, "Let me try to work on her." He was saying that, "Look, you can't make her do anything she doesn't want to do. You can't make her be what she doesn't want to be." But he was like, "Look, I will try to work on her." Because, and then we can definitely tell after Landon left, Charles just kind of looked like this sad little boy. Like he really is in love with Candace. And Candace is in love with him, and that's the reason why Candace is running, because Candace is on that bullshit. So then this is the scene that really sealed the deal that Jeffrey's on my shit list. Because Madison is about to leave, and now he's being real dismissive and shit, And, he's saying, "I gotta go, I'm about to go." And he's like, "Yeah, you got a job to do, so do it." And, it was just being real nasty to Madison. Like, you the one that dragged him into this shit. And now you trying to give him your ass to kiss? You evil little bitch. And then all of a sudden he was like, why are you acting like this? It's obvious that you care about him. He's like, yeah. But the thing is, I didn't want my dad involved because my dad always is trying to handle my problems and I had it handled. And I can handle him. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, you cannot handle him. He's like, well, unlike you, I know psychology. No, bitch. You think because you went to school for 4 years you know psychology? Psychology is one of those things you're going to constantly learn about. And your damn ego is proof that you're crazy and just as psychotic as Justin is. Like, because people always wanted to put out that Jeffrey was the victim. No, Jeffrey knows exactly what he's doing. He's loving the crazy. He's loving the drama. And he is basking in it. And he was like, you know, so all of a sudden, we see that damn Madison was like, so what is it? Is it the sex? You know, is it that damn good? And he was like, well, he's like, it's more than that. I like him. He's like, you love him. He's like, no, I like him. He's like, you know what? And he says that, and then all of a sudden he again flips it. Oh, so the reason why you told my father is because you want me to love you. You want me to feel that way about you versus feeling that way about him. He's like, I could care less, bro. I'm just trying to make sure you're safe. And he's like, you said you gotta go somewhere, right? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and you still here? And Madison was like, you know what? Fine. And he just goes and slams the door. He's like, and then all of a sudden, just Jeffrey up there talking about something. Don't be slamming my dad's door, bitch. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, he wasn't a bitch when you was up there lip locking with him up in your daddy's closet. Now was he? Well, now was he? Fuck Jeffrey. Wyatt is in the interrogation room with George. George is really playing mind games with him, and he tells George that he'll testify if you get me out of here. And he's like, what's the rush? And then we see that one of the guards come in and talk to George. We see that Jim is out there trying to get in, and he's saying that, do you have my... And we see that George and Jim go back and forth, and he tells Jim that, yeah, we got Wyatt, he in here on possession. And he's like, let my son out. He's like, I don't think I can do that. And he was like, oh, I'm getting sick and tired of you, George. You know, it's enough. Like, what the hell are you trying to do? And, yeah, and you press. Because you sent that whore to my house to trap me. And, you know, you just need to just give up your little witch hunt because it ain't going to work. And then he starts bossing up to Jim. It's like, you don't scare me. I think you have something that belongs to me. And I'm like, he's saying that, yeah, it's evidence. And he was like, well, if I were to have that, I wouldn't stupidly admit to that, and you have no proof that I have it, so what are you doing? You know, and he's saying that you're going down, and he was like, you just did this because you know I had what it took to take down your wife, and I'm going to take you down too, because, yeah, that gun was also the same gun that killed Jennifer Salison. So, you know, they go back and forth and everything, and Jim says, bring it. And then he was saying that, look, you really are pushing it. And he says, I'll go to the damn Attorney General and talk about your ass. He was like, go ahead, make the call. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want to talk to you. You know, so he just blows Jim off like Jim ain't shit. So George is really on this power trip because he wants to take them down. And besides, if he can take them down, that's pretty much a possible promotion to Attorney General. He's going for the same exact shit that Jennifer Salison was going for. And we see how she ended up right with the heels pointing to the sky. Hallelujah! So we saw that go down. Then we see that Hannah goes to the Cryer's house and they have a new maid. Her name is Diane. And she was asking, was Jim there? Was Captain there? There's nobody there. So she decides that she's going to sit and wait for him to get there. And then all of a sudden, Candace shows up. And she's like, well... And she asks, where is Jim here? And she's like, no, he's not here. She's like, oh, I'll wait. And she's like, but may I ask, who are you? And she says, I'm his nightmare. So I was like, wow. So then we see that the two of them run into each other. Catherine Hannah, she's like, what the hell you doing here? She's like, what the hell you doing here? And, you know, she pretty much tells the maid, get Jim's ass on the phone right now. Go. And I'm like, oh, Candace is just rude as shit. And then she had told her, don't sit on that woman's furniture. Candace politely sat her ass down, was like, and she's like, I can't deal with your ass today. So Hannah just goes into the other room. And, like, we both gonna wait for Jim, but we gonna wait in separate rooms because I can't with her ass. Because Candace is doing the most. So then the maid calls Jim, and she says that both, you know, Hannah's here. And she's like, you know, what the hell she doing here? She's like, well, she's here to see you. And then also, some girl is here who's supposed to be her daughter. He's like, oh, okay. Serve them tea, and have them wait, and I'll be there as soon as I can. So we saw that going down. So we're going to see what's going to go down next week. And we see that Hannah is about to show Jim what happens when you fuck with a black woman's child. I can't fucking wait. Then we get the ending that really had me gagging. So what happened was that Justin gets a knock on the door, and he gets a delivery of flowers, and they're from Jeffrey, and we see that Justin just lights up and everything. He's like, oh no, it's not like that, we're just friends, you know, it's nothing like that. He's like, hey, I ain't judging or nothing like that. He's like, well, kind, just give me a second so I can give you a tip. So that's the little where he's staying at is the house that he set up for him and Jeffrey to live in. Actually, it's pretty nice. So all of a sudden he went to go get the damn tip. We see old boy who's the florist comes in there with 3 other guys, and they shut the door, and as soon as he turns around, they begin to beat the living shit out of Justin. Justin was getting some licks in, but by the end of it, they beat Justin down. Glenn Close has gotten beat the hell down. And next thing we see that he's a bloody mess. And I'm like, wow. That was a damn good ending. I was so here for that shit. Because, you know, as I said, Justin has been doing entirely too much. And if anything, David owed him that because he fucked up David's apartment. So I'm like, hey, well deserved. And if anything, you know, David need to beat Jeffrey's ass because Jeffrey's fucking crazy. So, yeah, the shit just got real. But now, Justin really gonna come after Jeffrey now because he probably right now is thinking that Jeffrey's behind this shit. You went behind Daddy, and now Daddy sent some goons to attack me. Oh, this is going to drive Justin even more mad. So we're just gonna see how this shit's gonna play out. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell to get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with another episode of The Haves and the Have-Nots. Man, there's a lot going on in Savannah that even the heat doesn't even slow shit down. So until next time, everybody, take care.